Good dog, and welcome back to the Norwegian campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. So Dovre still has some work to do. Very well. And we're about to start firing. And there we go. Let's load up on the HE first. That tends to work with these ships. That's gonna hit. Nice. And this is not the unsinkable class light cruisers. This is the new one. Let's drop down to cruising speed. Why not? See if she's actually gonna drop speed, or maybe. Looks like it. Orion seems to take some big hits. But yeah, I think we're gonna switch to Leviathan. It's the more dangerous ship. And we're gonna set secondaries to fire at Orion whenever she's in range. Ooh, all blocked. Are you giving me the main belt now? Let's go with AP then. There we go. That was a main belt pen for 17,000 damage. None of them have launched. It was a main gun pen, and that's basically the end of Leviathan. Although I am now taking some damage in return. Structural damage. Let's see, will Dovre choose AP or HE for Orion? Oh, the secondaries are doing work. For sure. And we're going with HE. And there we go. Full-on extended belt penetrations with HE. Very nice. Did take some damage in return though. I might wanna give Dovre and Jotunheim some refits. West Africa, Indian Ocean, Central Mediterranean. And Britain is having rebellions all over. You got a battleship in Valletta. This naval invasion will fail next turn. Probably this one has a few months left. And meanwhile, the army is doing things. I don't really want to start any more naval invasions now. So these to Pearl Harbor. I just want to wait until the British invasions run out and we can get a peace treaty. But, oh yeah, there we go. Magnificent class battleship. Nice. And we got Harald Hårfagre going up against it in a convoy battle. That is kind of exciting. Because she's actually going to be a little bit outgunned here versus the British one. But I also have a heavy cruiser on my side here. That could be maybe helpful. We'll see. I'm just gonna have it follow. The enemy ship is already in sight. 72 kilometers. They got 50-kilometer main gun range. I got 43. I'm just gonna have to make that work. .7 fore and aft belts. At like 30-35 kilometers, so I can go through that with HE. I cannot score citadel penetrations. Like, I can go through the main belt itself, but not the inner layers, so it's just going to be partial pens. And Collingwood is already firing. We're not in range yet. What am I firing at? A transport? Yes. Never mind that. Big aim in-built partial pen. Give it a good broadside. And there we go. Finally scoring some hits in return. 4-belt pen. Full on 4-belt pen. Nice. See if we can do that with HE. Should be like twice the amount of damage if successful. Maybe at this range the AP is still better. Let's see, the transports, do they have... They do not have torpedoes, okay. That's gonna hit. Nice, blocked. And we're both mainly scoring partial penetrations. I had that one. lucky 4-belt pen. I do have twice the number of guns though, so that is to my advantage. And I'm not sure about the... There we go, main tower destroyed. That is a nice hit. That is a very nice hit. I forgot what I was about to say. Yeah, I'm not sure about the resistance value of that enemy ship, but I know mine is quite good. There we go, fire control is damaged. Okay, we got a pretty good advantage now. We can start closing in. We do actually score a main belt pen. They score a 4-belt pen in return. That's the first good hit they've landed. So I don't want to close in at too directly of an angle. I do want my main belt attracting those hits. A little bit closer, we're now at less than 30 kilometers, which is still pretty long range. I mean, yeah, we are winning the engagement, but a couple of main belt pens from those massive 20-inch guns could quickly turn things around. And they can go through my citadel at let's see, yeah, around 20 kilometers. My cruiser is now also firing. Yeah, this is one of the ones that don't flood. Right. My 10-inch guns are doing some damage, but it's not very serious. There we go. Now let's just slaughter the transports. And I think Hrym is ready to do that. Harald Hårfagre, you can just put your main guns to work on the furthest transport. And then Rym can rake them as she closes in. These 5.9s are going to make short work of the transports once they're in range. Because the thing with transports and having absolutely no armor whatsoever is that most most guns I have here are just going to overpen, even firing HE. Especially the big guns. I'm just going to seize. Am I? Am I going to seize fire? I mean, Harald Hårfagre is going to need a couple months in dry dock for repairs anyway, so she's going to have plenty of time to rearm. There we go. See those huge numbers. And the 5.9 start opening up. Fire from this guy. In pure numbers, the 5-inch guns have actually done the most. Harald, you can keep firing at the furthest one. Let's see. We're going to take a screenshot here of something. It's actually pretty nice. I didn't realize I was sailing so close to the wreck. Makes for a pretty nice picture of Harald Hårfagre, with the burning wreck of Collingwood in the background. And there's one left, Argyle. Now getting peppered. Nice. Alright, another battleship sunk. And a convoy too. Let's see. The new ships I was building, are they in service yet? They are. Nice. Am I gonna build more of them? Maybe. Because they're supposed to be replacing some of my older ships. Yeah, I can build 2 more. That is the Olav Haraldsson class. Not sure where to. Okay, these are being built in Stockholm, as were these two. So we can put these in Singapore. Nice. Alright, let's click through some more months and see what happens. A couple months later, and Dovre gets to do it again against a squadron of British cruisers. And sinking these, it's kind of important because combined they have a tonnage of more than 25,000, which means they can initiate another naval invasion. So let's get them sunk before they do that. And it is a stormy night? No, it's not night. It is daytime. It's actually not stormy even. Alright. It's kind of a moody atmosphere. Yeah, I like it. Let's close in and start firing. We're spotting the two heavies. It's not so stormy. We need to close to almost point blank range to fire. And the slight sea waves, they don't bother me too much. Minus 8%. This is a pretty stable ship. Let's go more broadsiding at that X turret firing. It doesn't have the best angles. That's a couple of juicy hits. It doesn't turn too well. Come on, Dovre. There we go, X turret is online. Straighten out now. How do we switch targets? No, we're still... No, wait. Still targeting the lead ship. That's good. Well, Drake took some big hits there. Nothing too serious. See if we can score some good ones on Powerful. Yes. But not too much damage. We're overpenning the extended belts. But now going broadside, I think we're gonna get some hits on the actual main belt. Like that. Main belt pen for 40,000 and she is sinking. Next up is Drake. Or it's back to Drake, rather. Very nice. That's about the end of her. A couple more hits. Needs a little bit more convincing. Oh, fuck. Ah, they still have one of these. That's the unsinkable one. I know those are going extinct because they're building a new one, which is much cheaper and in many ways more cost effective, but lacking the unsinkable bug of this specific class. Didn't quite pause it at the right moment there, but darn it. I wanted to have it like with the burning wrecks in the background. And impact. Nothing too spectacular. I'm gonna see if I want to use that one instead of the one of Harald Hårfagre. 7-inch guns are now opening up. Let's see. Now sailing broadside. Can we get full main belt pens with AP? Nah, it's just over penning. Even the main belt is too thin. And she's launched torpedoes. It's a good thing they're not building any more of these, because they're kind of annoying to fight with them just never taking any flooding. Here come the torps. And it took one. That's annoying. I just need a couple of like good actual full penetrations, even just one, to bring down the structure enough for a kill. I think I want to see what I can do with a refit to this class, because I got two of these and they're pretty good. There are a couple of things I think could be better. Like in these kind of cruiser fights, I would like to have a little bit more armor on the extended belts. There we go. Finally. Alright. But first, let's click through another couple of months. We might actually get a war with Spain. Actually. Which will be, that will be something. That will be something that could happen. Army's doing things. I think next turn this will fail, and then we can start offering the Brits a peace treaty. But first, let's just sink one of these new champion class light cruisers. It's gonna be quick, and it's now in range. It's gonna keep it at ×10. See how soon we can start scoring some hits here. It's ×5 now because it's too close. But there we go. First couple of hits. Ricocheting. There we go. 4 belt pen. And a good bit of flooding. And there she goes. Nice. And this does take flooding, although in this case, that was not what killed her. And we found some oil. That's cool. Do this stuff again. Another one of these. But as I said, we need to get them sunk. And we're firing. And it's the same deal as last time. This should not take long. We can just score a couple good hits that are not blocked by the massive armor of this light cruiser. There you go, just closing in. And there she goes. Nice. But what is... Well, I guess it is nice, but in a way it's not nice because unrest is going up. The army is doing a lot of things. But that should be the last turn of that naval invasion. They've pumped out another bunch of... only destroyers this time. That should not be enough tonnage combined anywhere to launch anything. So maybe maybe this will be the end of the war. Let's find out. And we finally have a month without an active naval invasion. Of course, we cannot give them a peace treaty just yet. I need to go sink something. Because even if that naval invasion failed and that removed like 10 unrest, it's still going up because the army is being too darn successful. And they're going to keep gobbling up British territory. Well, anyway, let's head for next month and see if we can get peace with Britain and war with Spain, because both of those things would be very nice. And a war with Spain would not take long because they only have like 4 provinces, all of which I can easily capture. So no thank you, Greece. Do that strike here again. 4 Liberty class destroyers. Nice of them to all come out in the same task force, because otherwise I would have to fight 4 different battles against single destroyers, and that would be insanely tedious. There we go, they are spotted, they are in range, we are firing. We are scoring hits. They are now invisible. But we're gonna see them when they come into range. Or when they come closer. They are already in range. Let's see if we can score some good hits, slowing them down before they get close enough that I will have to start dodging torpedoes. There we go. That's Urchin pretty much gone. Half the ship exploded, but will she get her torpedoes in the water? She might. Ribble. What's their torpedo range again? 17.2, okay. So while technically they had a range, they were not close enough to launch with the required lead. They did not launch. Fury, Thanet, has not launched. But they're firing their little guns. And I'm firing my little guns too. Fury explodes. Thanet will be next. Thanet is in trouble. And just a crippled Urchin left. That's not a big deal. It's nice having battlecruisers that are just a little bit faster than the enemy destroyers. So you can just kite away and they never get a good torpedo solution. Good job, guys. Helgingstad, Fridtjof Nansen. And finally, after how many years and months, peace has broken out. And we can get a war with Spain right away. Very nice. Yeah, we get a war with Spain. Right. Hibernia class battleship, that's a new one. 1 billion, that's kind of cheap. That's not one of the big super battleships. That's a tiny battleship. 37,000 tons, and they've got 6 18.1-inch guns. That's kind of impressive, actually. Let's take one of those and give it a refit. For the rest of the 50 billion, let's I want to take Malta. I want to have them not have anything in the Mediterranean. Let's just go through and pick everything, if we can. I want to take southern Egypt. Let's ignore some of like the inland areas for now and focus on stuff with ports. Orange Free State, I'm pretty sure that is a landlocked territory. So is Northern Rhodesia. And I think Southern Rhodesia, is that landlocked? I can't really see. I think it might be. Southern Egypt. And is that all? Because it would be pretty funny if I could reduce Britain to having no ports at all, so they just dissolve. That would be very nice. Uh, let's take like that one. Sure. Right. I could pick a. I'm not gonna pick another ship. Actually, no. I will take their destroyers because their destroyers have been sinking some of mine. Let's see what we get. We get 2 destroyers and a battleship. The battleship needs to be commissioned. And we get a whole lot of territory. Holy. That's a lot. That's a lot of territory. I just took British Somaliland just before the war ended. No peace yet. I think you're wrong there. Yes, we left some landlocked territory. Let's see, was there something we didn't get? They've got nothing left in the Mediterranean. That is good. They got nothing left in Africa at all. Other than, you know, the landlocked areas. How about like the tiny insignificant islands? They got one island here. That means they get to remain as a nation. As long as that island doesn't revolt. Well, anyway. Let's gear up for fighting Spain, shall we? Here is their main battle fleet. That's a lot of ships. Let's launch an invasion against southern Italy. $104,000 tons, easy. And they had Easter Island here. Here it is. Send out a tiny task force. That's too bad about Britain keeping Eastern Gilbert and Ellis Islands. Because if they'd lost those, they would have no ports and would dissolve. And that would be another nation completely out of the game. Anyway, no, Spain, actually, no, you cannot go through here because I own that strait. So you're gonna have to, come on, game. You're gonna have to fight these ships. I'm gonna be outnumbered, but that's fine. But that's gonna be in the next episode because this time, to pad out the running length, I'm gonna do some refits. Let's first take a look at Hibernia. What kind of ship is this? Let's see if we can make something decent. I mean, 6 18-inch guns for 37,000 tons. That is, that's not bad. Just in terms of firepower per ton. It's not bad at all. Let's see, are these the kind of guns that will turn a lot smaller once I make them 18.0 guns instead of 18.1s. No. That's not a big difference. I think that's unique to the 17s. And maybe some others. When it comes to British Mark V guns. I know it's the case with the 17s. You make them 17.1 or any anything slightly more than 17, and they just become really huge. I'm just gonna clean this up. I don't want to use that rear tower. Oops, didn't mean to remove the A turret. The A turret was fine. But I wanted to pick another barbette. Just because I think this one looks nicer. But is it tall enough? It is, but it's not wide enough. So we might want to use its bigger brother. That looks nice. Nice enough. Has this hull been made slimmer? Yes, it has. Let's fatten it up a little bit. Let's draft it up a little bit too. It's very, very shallow. Can we make this go 28 knots? I think we can. By, you know, not running it on semi-oil. There we go. Drop this down to auxiliary 4. It's very, very shafty. A lot of things that are very heavy. We're gonna have Citadel 5, of course. Gives us a resistance of not much. But I think with some anti-torp, heavy shells, that's fine. Reduced ammo, that is not fine. Sure, like things are okay for the most part. Inner layers are very, very thick. Probably thicker than they need to be. There we go. Especially the decks, since deck penetrations don't seem to be a thing anyway. I want to have a little bit of conning tower armor. I want to have some actual main belt armor. And we're not doing this all or nothing thing. Those are some very, very long guns. 54 calibers in length. What kind of? Oh, okay. That's why the range was not that impressive. There we go. Now we can lighten up the barrel length. 45s. I mean, it's a little bit short, but that's pretty good reload time. Now, is it possible to... too far from previous place. My arch nemesis. So that means it's gonna be one of these things. That does not have a funnel placement. Does that? Yes. I mean, that kind of works. That kind of works. Aft weight offset. Yeah, but it's not that much. 2% is not that much. Can I move things here a little bit further forwards? No, I cannot. Not really. Now let's play with the secondary armament. See what we can do. Put that there. Not too much in the way of the sea turret. Seven-inch guns seem to work fine for me. Secondary weapons. I can just about make them fit. At least in a couple of places. That's not too bad. Do I still have some there we go. Away with you. I like 7.5s. Come on. I can barely see the... there we go. Not overhanging too much. That's fine. Well, it's just like the cheek of the turret overhanging. The turret ring is within the hull. Looks like. We're a lot overweight though. I think anti-torp 5 was a bit too much. I think this kind of range is more than it needs to be. If I go with gas turbines, how much weight do I save? Because then I also don't get the engine vibration thing. I get -40 instead of +22. 42,000. Might just have gone a bit too overboard with the armor. For 2007. It's not a big difference in weight here. What would turbo electric? That would be heavier, but yeah, no, heavier. 1.5 billion. 1.2 billion. That is very cheap. Maintenance 37 million a month. Or maintenance 36 million a month. Yeah, like, I mean, there's not really a big difference here. But you just get not as much range, but you don't get those engine vibration things, and you get a higher cruising speed with gas turbines. So that is what I will choose for this, for that reason. Barbette, we can reduce that down to at least Barbette 2, Barbette 1 even, works fine. Now as for the armor, here's where things need to be reduced. Reduce the third inner belt. Well, just still keep me safe from my own guns out to 10,000 meters. And we're just gonna remove the deck armor because that deck hits just don't seem to be a thing for whatever reason. You can reduce the actual main belt as well. I'm gonna keep the fore and aft belts though. They don't cover that much, but it's nice to be at least protected against cruiser guns. Main turrets do need protection though. That is certain. Alright, what else? What else can be reduced? Shaft. Remove the radio. It doesn't do that much. You can go down to standard shells. We're closing in now. We're just a couple 100 tons overweight. That's not that much. That's not much at all. Like, if this had been using all of that available displacement on the hull, that would probably not be overweight at all. I can move that in a little bit, further reducing weight. And let's see, what can we what more can we reduce here? That made absolutely no difference. I guess we can reduce the aft belts down to 5. We are getting very close now. Electro-hydro turrets, is fine. If that is heavier, Electro-hydro 1 steering. That is lighter, there we go. Nice. 4-month refit for Hibernia. That's a bit aft heavy. That looks very extreme, but 0.9% is absolutely nothing. It just looks weird here for whatever reason. A cheap little ship. Something that can guard some ports somewhere. And now, the Liberty. The British destroyers that sank so many of my supposedly gunboat specialized destroyers. And looking at it now, I mean, it's got few bulkheads, minus beam, plus draft though. Resistance is not even that impressive. Is it all just down to those guns being... Even the tower is kind of crap. Like, I don't really understand what made this so good. It's got heavy shells, it's got semi-ballistic AP, cap ballistic HE. I mean, that's good. You can go standard ratio though. Dynamite bursting charge, that is very explosive. Triple base, we can rock that. That's fine. I switched from electrical torpedoes to oxygen. .2-inch guns. Where's the 4.2? These are 5.8s. 5.8. That's a 4.2. Engine efficiency is really good. You can always make it better though. Like that. Yeah, enhanced dual funnel with the built-in barbette. That's pretty nice. You can drop that. We can we have like a secondary tower with a built-in barbette. No, we don't. I mean, the torpedoes are good. Gonna rearrange those a little bit. Can we get a better main tower? Advanced Tower 9. That's like one of the worst. But at least it's not that heavy, but we can fit a better tower on this, which has even better gun stats, allowing for more accuracy. We'll still have some displacement to spare. Let's put the like the simple rear tower back on. It was one of these, right? I think it was. Let's like put it there we go. Flipped around. Looks nicer. And then another one of these. It's a little bit too heavy. Fine, we're gonna go with a 4-inch gun then. Wouldn't it be better if the 4-inch gun was in the middle here, and the 5-inch gun on a tiny barbette, like back here? I think that fits better. 2-month refit. Very nice. I would like to have more bulkheads. I would have liked to have more speed. But also, I don't want to change too much about this because, like, whatever it was about it, it just kind of worked. And that is a helicopter flying overhead. Right. Let's save that. Yeah, no, I think this is there was nothing about this that was really that impressive. I think it's just down to the guns. The single barrel 5.8-inch guns. Plenty of penetration. Can go through 0.8 inches of armor is the maximum for a destroyer. At least most parts of the ship. Combined with, you know, heavy shell size and itself having pretty good armor. That's maxed out pretty much everywhere you can take a hit. That's not bad. Yeah, if I do build another destroyer class in this campaign, I'm just gonna go with big single barrel guns. I think that's the plan here. So, I mean, not that it matters. I only got 2 of these. And yeah, we're late enough in the campaign that I don't think they're gonna make much out of themselves. Anyway, next time we're fighting Spain, they have 1 task force, and it's like an actual proper task force, so it's gonna be a real battle, not just one of my battleships slapping a cruiser around. And then we're gonna invade the 4 provinces they have, and just knock them out of the game. Finally, that's how this whole war started, was me trying to go to war with Spain. But they didn't want to fight, so finally here we are. And the British Empire is not here anymore. The British Empire is some inland regions in Africa and a tiny island in Napari with a cruiser in it. Yeah. Somehow they still have an economy. That's funny. Anyway, goodbye and take care.